Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
Okay, doctors, what I want to talk about today is what's the biggest reason for procrastination? Let's say you want to grow something in the injury practice, and why do you procrastinate? Why do you hesitate? What is the biggest reason for procrastination? I'm going to tell you it's twofold. There's two reasons for procrastination. If you start finding yourself procrastinating, just think about what I said and you'll immediately spot the source of why you're procrastinating. All right, so one of the things that'll cause procrastination is when you don't have a goal that's known to you, that's big enough, out far enough into the future, a large goal that can actually change your life. Something that's big enough that it can seriously change your life. So let's take in the injury space. Let's say that right now I have a practice I'm doing $500,000 a year. I got a mid-sized little small practice. I'm doing $500,000 a year. And I want to blow my practice up to a $10 million practice, or I want to own 5 $10 million practices, right? But let's just say, hey, I want to grow this to a $10 million practice. I want to do it in the next 4 years. Right now, that's a huge goal. For a lot of you, that would be a huge goal. Now, would it change your life? Yes, it would change your life. Right? Because if you could pull 50% out of that system and pull $2 million a year for the next 4 years, you've made $8 million. If you're smart with your money, that's going to change your life. That's going to dramatically change your life, and it could change your life forever. Now, that's having a big goal. Now, there can be lots of big goals, right? You can have a big goal of building your church, or you could have a big goal of building a large ministry, or you could have a big goal of, whatever your goal is in life. And I'm just using those as examples. You can have a large goal. All right. That's, first of all, you got to have that. You got to know what it is that you're going toward, what it is that you're driving, because that's your North Star. That's your North Star. When you're in confusion, when you're not active, when you're thinking, okay, what should I be doing? That's your North Star. That's what you look at. That's what should be aligning your activities. So one, procrastination is not having a big enough goal that you're going toward, that you're working toward, that right? You got to know what this goal is. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I spent the first, I'd say 50 years, almost 50 years of my life not having that North Star and being successful, but also procrastinating and wasting a lot of time along the way. So if somebody who had told me this very young, it would have been very helpful. Right? So you got to have a big goal, a life-changing goal that you're going after. So that's number one. Number two, if you're starting to procrastinate, then you're suffering from a lack of commitment to achieving that goal. Right? But you got to have the goal so that when you are procrastinating, you can take it, and everybody procrastinates on some things. There's no 100% absolute, hey, I'm not going to procrastinate. Everyone procrastinates, myself included, right? The key is when you're doing it, do you know you're doing it? And then do you know how to get out of it? And the key is you got to have a North Star. So when you're muddling around, when things hit you, when you have a large goal, everything everything that you really desire to do, I heard a coach say this one time, is on the other side of hard. And I agree with that. It is on the other side of hard. That causes a barrier to entry. That's why everybody doesn't achieve the kind of goals that I'm talking about. That's why 95%, 98% of the people never achieve those type of goals. They don't achieve the life-changing goals. And or they don't achieve what they think they could have achieved. And usually that's because they didn't set a target. They didn't set what is the goal and what's my purpose for getting there. Right? So let's say I had a $10 million clinic. Well, what's my purpose for doing that? Well, I want to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to have a business that I can run instead of being run by it. I want to have a business where I can, do the administration aspect of it. I want to be able to support my church or my charities. I want to be able to give my kids a life that I didn't have. I want to not think about money. If I want to go buy a car, I want to be able to go buy a car. Those are reasons for why you would want that goal. There could be many of them. And that's the purpose for achieving the goal. Then you actually have to set up, okay, good. Now that I have this goal, how do I plan to achieve it? What am I going to do? Who do I need to hire? What person do I need help? What do I need? Now you're going to plot it out, and so that you can actually complete and achieve the actual goal. So if you're procrastinating, somewhere along the line, you lost some commitment to that goal, and it's temporary. It's not permanent. It's just temporary. Right? You can snap out of it anytime you want to. So let's say that I want, I have doctors that come into our program, Smart Injury Doctors program. They want to go from 2 to 20 injury patients a month. And for them, that's life-changing. It would be absolutely life-changing. I just recently had a doctor went from 2 to 16, and I think he's quadrupling his collection and his income. And he had a very large practice to begin with. He had a very large and successful practice to begin with. But let's say you want to go from 2 injury patients to 20 injury patients. Now, for some of you, you could be listening to this and you're already seeing 500 injury patients. Okay, that's not a big enough goal for you. You have other goals. I'm just using this example. You want to go from 2 to 20, right? So you decide, okay, that's the goal I'm going to do. And then the next thing you do is you're not really following that goal. You're wasting a lot of time. You're watching Netflix series night after night, or you're doing other things than looking at that goal. You've lost commitment to the goal, and you will procrastinate. So anytime that there is procrastination, it's twofold. One, you don't have a North Star. You don't have something that you're actually gauging. And then two, you're not committed to it. And the easiest thing to do is just recommit to it. That's what gets you out of procrastination. I have never seen anybody fail that didn't quit. I was an athlete my whole life. When I say my whole life, my whole young life. My older life, I was not an athlete. And today I wouldn't consider myself athletic. At 60, I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, he's so athletic. Now, I played college basketball. I played college baseball. I played scholarship level college rugby. I played high school baseball, high school football, and high school basketball. I won a state championship as a quarterback in football. So I had a lot of athletic experience, a lot of fun things that I did in athletics, right? In athletics, we're athletes are fond of saying, hey, we didn't lose, we ran out of time. Okay, in life, you don't really run out of time. You have all the time of your life. So as long as you don't quit in your life, you don't lose. So that's another aspect to things. When you don't quit, when you got a North Star, you're committed to it, and you don't quit, you decide, okay, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to do this. Right now, we have injury providers that should be really gearing up their practices toward the injury side because we're in a recession. The date of this recording for this is 10/25/2022. We're in a recession, and we're going to be in a, I think, deeper recession as we go into 2023. Now, the area of practice that does not go into recession, you don't have to worry about recessions, is the injury practice. So, now more than ever is the time to gear your sights, gear your goals, gear your reasons and your purpose, gear it toward the injury market. It's the best injury market there is. Commit to it. Commit to learning about it. Commit to finding out from somebody who can mentor you, who can coach you, who can help you with the spots that are hard to help with. Right? That's what you want to be looking for, and that will help you align with a group that's already aligned with what your purpose is or what you want to achieve. Align with a group of people who are achieving those things. That's what you want to align with, because it'll help you not to quit. It'll help you to get over your times of procrastination when you get off purpose. You get into doing other things instead of doing what your purpose was to do in the first place and your goal and your mission was to do in the first place. The reason why I like injury work is injury work to me is the highest purposed practice there is. The reason why I say that, and people have heard me say that before, is because 55% of the people that are in a spinal related injury, that have a spine injury, by statistics don't fully recover. Okay, so I had a big purpose to want to be the best injury provider that I could be. That was one of my goals. I had other goals. And first of all, one of the things when you have a goal like that, hey, I want to be the best injury provider I can be, good. That's not going to end until your life ends because you're always going to get better. There's always things to improve on. But as long as you're working toward it, and the beautiful thing is that it's the journey. The journey is what's fun. You take a look at the goal, you set up some purpose, and you say, oh my God, here's the goal I want to achieve. Here's why I want to achieve it. The journey is the fun part because that's where you're gonna test yourself. How true. I've said many times, you're not competing with anybody else in the injury market except for yourself. So, the journey is the part that is the most fun. And it is fun. And if it's not fun, you don't have a North Star. You don't have a North Star that you're committed to. You don't have a goal that you're committed to. You don't have your goal's too small, right? You can also suffer from having too small of a goal. I mean, if you get distracted and basically you're like, whatever, yawn to this goal, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. And don't think that you can't accomplish seriously big goals. The only person, somebody else told you couldn't accomplish big goals and you might have bought into it because native to you is not any hesitation because you understand how big and really how able you really are. Anybody else telling you any different it's false. It's false. So the key out of procrastination is make sure you got a North Star. Make sure you got a good, big, life-changing goal that you're going after. And if you need to work a little bit to get it, work a little bit to get it, but get it. And then commit to that goal. And you'll see that procrastination will reduce. Doctors, always what I do is a short riff on a topic. We have a Smart Injury Doctors program. That's where we help doctors to dramatically expand their injury services into their practice. It's a system. It's a very cool system. If you have interest on it, you want to know more about it, call us at 800-940-6513. And you would schedule a call with Chrissy. She would do a discovery call to see if our program would be a right match for you. You can also check us out at www.smartinjurydoctors.com. As always, I thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope what I said somehow resonates with you and helps you. And I hope you have a great end of the year. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next podcast.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.